All right, the 50th video of the channel, guys. I'm so happy for 50 videos consistently. I'm excited, and I almost thought I was gonna post again, but here I am, right? So to follow up with one of the comments I read, story times, right? Before I begin, I want to say that this is not a negative video. This is not me trying to complain, blame people, or act like I had the worst life ever, right? If anything, it taught me how to be even more kind, but from more of an honest place. A lot has happened in my life. A lot has happened in my life, and I want to be able to share parts of it with the hope that it can help other people move through their own struggles and come out on the other end stronger and more resilient, right? Now, growing up, I was a kind kid, right? My parents could tell you that. I was outgoing, trusting, open, and a lot of us kids when we were younger. And I believed that people were mostly good. I was innocent, just like all of you were when we were all younger. But unfortunately, people can see that and use that against you. They can use your kindness as a weakness. They can convince you to do things. They can set you up to be the scapegoat and take the blame. They can betray your trust, and that's what happens. And when that happens enough, you start to change. I had a bike when I was about 6 or 7. Funny, right? I had a bike. I was about 6 or 7 years old. That I loved dearly. I lived in this apartment complex, my first place. Being out of Jamaica and everything. If you don't know, I'm Jamaican, right? So coming from there, we had got our own apartment complex. We were doing decently well for everything that's happened so far. And I had a bike. I loved this bike. I loved using this bike. This bike was like my son, you know what I'm saying? I loved playing around with my son, you know what I'm saying? I looked at the bike as my best friend. And there was a group of kids, a lot of kids that were there, you know what I'm saying? There was another kid with the same name as me. There was so many other kids there. And it was so dope because everybody was just having fun, popping wheelies, you know what I'm saying? Being lit, being turned, just having fun, man, doing what kids do. But there were always these kids, and my mom always had a bad feeling about them for some reason, but I never tried to. I still at times don't try to judge people based off their cover or based off how they present themselves, whether good or bad, right? But she really didn't like those kids, and she would tell me to watch out hanging out with those kids. And when I didn't have my bike upstairs in my storage room, in the storage room next to our apartment door, I'd have it either in my room, in my house, the storage room, or when I went upstairs or was gonna be upstairs for a little bit and come back down outside, I'd put it under the stairs. So one day, my helmet and bike I put down the stairs the night before. One of my contacts, a lot of the people who would do these, have fun with me, would always ask to ride my bike, and I let them a lot of the times, and sometimes I say no, you know what I'm saying, I'm just trying to ride my bike, and you know what I'm saying, it was all cool, or so I thought. One day, the bike vanished. We had no traces, we didn't know what happened to it, it just vanished. It just vanished, and at first I was so mad, because I was just like, what did I do to deserve this? I did nothing to these kids. I was nothing but nice to these people. And someone took my bike and just took it and just left. And I was like, okay, fine. But you want to know the most cruel part? Is about maybe that same week or the next week, someone had came to us and shown us that my helmet was inside the trash can. These guys threw my bike helmet into the trash can, whoever it was. To this day, I don't know who did it. Another story, same neighborhood, same people, maybe some different kids, but around the same thing. I used to go to these people's apartments, these kids' apartments, and chill with them, watch Adventure Time, all types of fun shows. Dude, one day my mom and my dad had brought me outside for something because they had heard about some kids doing something and they thought it was me. Bro, someone's car had been like vandalized with a bunch of like profanities, all types of negative and bad words and everything like that. And I was somehow put under the rug as a scapegoat. And I was sitting there like, what? I didn't do that. Oh, God, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So I'm here having to explain my butt off, trying to say, yo, I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was trying to, you know what I'm saying, put it on me. And I was like, yo, who is the kids that said it was me? You know, like, I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that hurt me a little more. And I was too young at the time to understand, to fully internalize those feelings. So I let it go after a while, but I never forgot that memory. Another time, I was gullible and I was nice and I wanted to fit in. And I wanted to be so cool. So we were just doing, you know how kids would do stupid stuff, bro? Like we do ding dong ditch, all types of dumb stuff. So one of my friends one of my people, so-called friends, threw a rock at a window and didn't break or nothing. So he told me to do the same thing. And I did the same thing. Window shattered, boom. We run away, and then the owner catches us or whatever, and then bro says it was me off the rip. I'm like, yeah, it was me. I'm like, dang, bro, didn't even give me the chance to just say anything. He didn't try nothing. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? We were young. But it made me start to realize, like, yo, people are cold, bro. Kids can be mean. People can be mean. Like, everybody can be mean, you know? Elementary school, and beginning of middle school, I was cool, in a sense of like, I was just chilling, you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to be around people. I had this one kid I called my best friend from pre-K to kindergarten. And then there was like all of a sudden, first, second grade, bro just switched up on me out of nowhere. He just stopped talking to me. And for the longest time, any chance I got, I asked him like, yo, why don't you want to be my friend? You know, hang out with me or anything. And I'm just like, yo, like, what's up, bro? Let's hang out, dude. And he's just not talking, or he just not talking. So fifth grade, I finally was cool, and I asked him, yo, what happened? And he could not give me a reason as to why he did that. But would you guys be surprised that I did the same thing? Throughout beginning of the year until about third to fourth grade, it was me and one guy. He was like one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying? We talk about one of my favorite shows at the time was Ben 10. It still is to this day. And he had like this Ben 10 PS game he'd bring to school sometimes. We'd sneak and play it. He was really cool, bro, you know what I'm saying? He was this Jewish kid, you know what I'm saying? And he was really cool, really dope. And then they get on bro, and then by extension they get on me. So eventually I kind of just started hanging around everybody else, the cool kids and everything like that, and just being more cool, quote unquote, trying to look cool and I wouldn't necessarily diss him or talk down on him, but I just wouldn't hang out with him. And he felt hurt by that, and he'd be like, the same thing that I asked bro, he'd ask me. And it really took for me to grow to a certain age where I was like, yo, I did the same thing. I did the same exact thing. I'd been hurt so many times as a young kid that I turned and did the same exact thing, and I felt so bad. I still feel bad to an extent. As I went to middle school, I got bigger and bigger. I gained weight. And I was in the cool group again, but this time I was a class clown. And while people would say I was funny, one of my biggest things that I would do was self-deprecating jokes, or I allow people to troll me or make fun of me. A lot of times my own antithesis, because then I'd go and get to a point of anger, because I used to have a really, really bad anger problem. And I'd go and do something. I almost broke a kid's spine, bro. Like, I was doing so many things out of anger and growing resentment through all these things that kept happening to me. And looking back at those stories, that was not cool. None of it was cool. It was just me being hurt and inflicting that hurt onto someone else. At some point, and it took me a while for me to realize this when it was originally told to me, because I didn't really understood what the word meant. My mom said that you could be so nihilistic, and I didn't truly know what that meant. At some point, I became more nihilistic and somewhat cynical. I was very dark, edgy. I didn't care, you know what I'm saying? I joke about anything, 9/11. I joke about school shootings. I was around friends who did the same thing. So everybody's went through that edgy phase, right? But the thing was, internally, I cared, but I didn't care at the same time. I didn't care for a lot of things. I was just so just flat. I didn't care. I was so hurt and annoyed of everything going on. I just didn't care. And the scary part is, those are the same traits that can look useful. They could make you sharper. They could make you harder to fool. They can help make you seem less affected by whatever traumas you went through in your life. But they can even help you to win in certain environments. But privately, they never do or bode well with your soul. Because what is the point, truly, of gaining confidence, status, success, or control, external things, if internally you become cold, bitter, suspicious, and disconnected from love? Cynicism can protect you from being fooled, but at the same time, it can also keep you from being healed. Some traits can help you win in public while destroying who you are privately and internally, right? I realized fake kindness and people pleasing led me to misery. It was not a real place. And I couldn't front like it was. It never was. There were times where I broke down in sophomore year. I broke down just crying because it really hit me. It was not real kindness. It was me trying to be accepted, trying to avoid rejection, trying not to be a target of some kind of bullying, or trying to play a role that I didn't want to play. High school was really where I was given a chance to stop being only the class clown or the butt of the joke, and stop letting people joke on me in those ways. Through a lot, and I can't emphasize a lot of character development, a lot of situations that made me sit and reflect for the first times in my life, truly. And important role models. So my friends' family members and their parents, as well as my own, and teachers, chaplains, all these people. I started learning how to become kind again, but not naive. Kind with honesty, kind with boundaries, kind with firmness, kind without letting people walk over me. Now, God teaches that kindness can't be a costume. Kindness has to be connected to truth. Ephesians 4:15 speaks about speaking the truth in love. And that matters because truth without love becomes harsh, and love without truth becomes fake. Galatians 6:1 at the same time, though, however, talks about restoring someone gently, but also watching yourself. Now, that matters because correction needs humility and boundaries. You can love someone without being weak. You can forgive without becoming available for the same disrespect that was given to you all that time. You can be gentle without letting people use you, is what I'm saying. One of the favorite books I've been reading is the Screw Tape Letters. And one of the greatest lessons I've learned is how the enemy, Screwtape, Satan, can twist kindness into people pleasing. It's these slight switches, right? Or twist hurt into coldness, or make you think being cruel is the same as being strong, because it's not, and it never will be. So I say this story to say this. Do not let kindness become permission for people to walk all over you. At the same time, do not also let hurt turn into kindness. Do not let hurt turn kindness into a mask for bitterness, manipulation, or fake peace and fake positivity. Do not let what hurt you transform you into someone who hurts other people in the same exact way that broke your trust and you end up breaking their trust. I had to take a step back and look in the mirror. Almost like the Joker picture. Y'all know the Joker picture where he's looking at maniacally, or even the future picture where he's looking at the mirror, just, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like seeing firsthand what pain can turn you into if you allow it to. I had to go through those Fight Club style internal battles like Tyler Durden went through with myself and truly sit there and ask myself, am I becoming who I'm supposed to be, or am I becoming a reaction to what hurt me? Now, under God, I'm starting to get closer to who I am meant to be. And I truly hope this video helps you to do the same that was able to be done to me. I had to learn to be kind again, not by becoming naive, but by letting God soften my heart without removing and actually strengthening my boundaries that I previously had. And maybe one day I'll get into the video of how boundaries were established and how boundaries were not established at times. But I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I love y'all. You can do it. Peace out. Be blessed.